Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. This is Pressing Matters, episode number 9. I'm your host, Daniel Torres. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. It's been a busy week for me. Lots of work, lots of schoolwork also. Again, I think I've mentioned it on our Plug Talk Sports show. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it here, but doing my master's degree through Real Madrid, actually, in sports business management. So I've had a lot of work, and I'm trying to get things done out of the way. As you guys know, next week in the U.S. is a holiday. It's a Thanksgiving holiday. So I'm going out of town, and therefore just trying to knock out some work before heading out on vacation. Don't want to be worrying about all that stuff while I'm on vacation and enjoying some family time. So definitely some downtime, some rest time, change of scenery, see something different outside of Miami, right? Outside of, the holidays and when work starts and the seasons start. I'm in Miami for quite a while until, vacation time in the off season and holidays as well. But here we are, as I will mention that next week there will not be a Pressing Matters episode. For the matter of fact, we won't have shows on the Plug Talk Sports Network all of next week. We are taking a break. I certainly want my team to enjoy Thanksgiving the entire week. I want them to reset, refresh, take this time to do that. And most importantly, take this time to spend time with their families. I understand that the sports world doesn't sleep. It's 24/7. There's always content to push 24/7. There's always news happening 24/7 in the sports world. I understand that better than most. I work in the sports industry, so I get it. But I am in charge of this platform. I own this platform. I created this platform. So I make the rules, and I want my guys to rest, and I want my guys to enjoy their families, because out of anything, for me personally, family comes first. So it's Thanksgiving, and I want my guys to enjoy their families during this time. So there will be no Pressing Matters and no shows throughout the week on the Plug Talk Sports Network. Next week, obviously, we'll be active on social media, posting, so you can stay tuned to that and for those updates. But here we are, Pressing Matters, episode number 9, as I said. And let's get into our agenda for the evening. And it's going to be, first up, Cristiano Ronaldo. 2 things we're going to talk about Cristiano today. The first is his red card in the World Cup qualifier for Portugal against Ireland. We're going to talk a little bit about Ireland later in the show. But man, guys, that was not a red card. I'm sorry, not a red card. And if you look at it, he's in the box. First of all, that player was harassing him all night long, and Ronaldo is getting his shirt tugged and just gives one of those, and this guy obviously flops, makes the most of it, and Ronaldo gets a red. Straight red. When you want to look at the difference, we've seen Messi here in Major League Soccer, specifically one match against the Philadelphia Union, where he's just backing into his defender and give him the elbow, back in again, give him the elbow, and nothing at all. Not even a card. Nothing at all for Messi. I think it was extremely ridiculous. And the fact that FIFA says, he might miss a couple games to start out the World Cup because of this infringement. Are you kidding me? Because of that, you guys are thinking about suspending him? And but they won't dare do it. They won't dare do it. This is Cristiano's last World Cup, as he has mentioned. And they won't dare do it. If not, I think that there will be many fans. I think the entire country of Portugal will be in an uprising. And as I said in our last episode, I definitely think that Portugal has a good chance and is one of the favorites to win this tournament. So I think Portugal would be an uprising if FIFA took that action. But guys, go take a look at it for yourselves. It was a Portugal World Cup qualification match. And listen, his red card, I don't think it was going to change the outcome of that match. Credit to Ireland. Again, we're going to talk about them a little bit more down the line in the episode, but credit to Ireland. They came in, did their job, and they beat Portugal. I mean, at that point, I believe it was 2-0. The red card for Cristiano comes in, and the way Ireland was playing, the way Portugal was playing, I didn't see Portugal coming back and taking the victory there. And people always say speculate. I mean, look, it's sports, right? Anything can happen. We say, but if you keep Cristiano in, maybe they could have been, as we say in Spanish, un remontada, which is a comeback. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. I'm not God. I can't predict what's going to happen, and we've definitely seen it before. Just look at Real Madrid, right? They come back in the Champions League from the impossible. I've seen them come back when there was a 1% chance of them winning the match, and they came back and won. So football's like that. Sports is like that. You never know. I can't sit here and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. If he would have never gotten the red card, could have Portugal come back and won that match, and whether tied with Ireland, they're going to win. I don't know. But the way it was going, the way things were trending, Ireland was in full control. And credit to them. I mean, just phenomenal from Ireland and to keep their hopes alive. But if you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. Go take a look at Ronaldo's red card against Ireland. Absolutely abysmal calling from the referee. It was terrible. Should have never been a red card. Shouldn't even have been a yellow. Could have been an infraction. Honestly, it could have been a yellow for the player for simulation and for diving, but hey, I don't make the rules, right? I just talk about the game. Ronaldo, red card. We are going to get now into World Cup qualifying. Guys, I am so excited. We are less than a month away now from the FIFA World Cup draw at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., where we'll learn the groups. Let's take a look so far at the teams who have officially qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. As I pull it up here. Here we go. I'm about to tell you guys. So, obviously, we went over this a little bit yesterday, but we'll talk about it more. The hosts always make it, and that is United States, Canada, and Mexico. Then qualifying Australia, Iran, Japan, Jordan, Korea Republic, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Uzbekistan. Surprises out of there are Jordan and Uzbekistan. Then we've got Algeria, Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde, look, this is for those who live in South Florida. Cabo Verde is always that little island that you always hear when a hurricane comes off the coast of Africa. You always hear meteorologists saying, well, it's going to pass the Cabo Verde Islands. So those are the islands that are making the World Cup. We've got Ivory Coast, Egypt. Mo Salah is going to his second World Cup with his national team. Last one was in Russia 2018. Ghana, Marruecos, which is Morocco in Spanish. Marruecos, strong showing in the last World Cup. I think they have developed a good foundation. I think they're the dark horse. I said this already. I think they're the dark horse. We've got Senegal, South Africa going back to the World Cup since hosting in 2010 in their own home country. And then Tunisia. And then we've got Curacao. Curacao is the smallest country to ever qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Congratulations to Curacao. Haiti is back. It's been 20 plus years since Haiti has qualified for a FIFA World Cup, and they're back, ladies and gentlemen. Haiti is back. Congratulations. I got some people on my staff that are from Haiti. They're extremely proud right now, as they should be. They get to see their nation in the FIFA World Cup. Then you have Panama. Obviously, those three teams are from CONCACAF. Then from Comebol, we have Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Then we've got New Zealand. Then we've got Austria. Congratulations to Austria. David Alaba, who's a Madrid player, plays for Austria. He'll be playing in the World Cup. Belgium, Croatia, England, France, Germany, Netherlands, Norway. We are going to see Erling Haaland and the Norwegians in the World Cup. Portugal, Scotland is in it. Scotland has made the World Cup. There's just so many countries that are making so many firsts. And you saw the emotion in qualifying. So congratulations to Scotland. My team, Spain, España, has qualified for the World Cup. Switzerland is in it. Those are the teams. But now we will talk about the European playoffs and then the intercontinental playoffs that will be decided later on in the year. They will not be decided before next month, before the draw. So you'll see when the time comes for the draw, you'll see that there will be spots in the groups that will be allocated due to these playoffs. They'll be later in the year. I believe it's going to be hosted in Mexico, and they will fill up the groups. But here they are for the confirmed World Cup 2026 playoffs out of Europe. We've got Italy versus Northern Ireland, and then Wales versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Guys, I want to say Italy. Italy, if they don't win, they will miss their third straight World Cup. And I think Rome might burn. Rome might burn if Italy does not make the World Cup. This is not an option for Italy. This is a giant that has missed the last two World Cups. And I want to see them in the tournament. But with the way that they've been playing, I don't know. They're vulnerable. They're very vulnerable. But I'm going to predict Italy over Northern Ireland. And then Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I've got Wales. I got Wales in that match. Obviously, they don't have Gareth Bale anymore. But they're still a strong team. I think a better team than Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I'm going to go with Wales. And that will lead us to Italy versus Wales. Oh, man. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Because Wales is not Northern Ireland. I think Wales is a better team than Northern Ireland. I think Wales can give Italy trouble. I'm going to have to go Italy. I'm going to have to stick with Italy. I want Italy in this World Cup. I want them to make it. I want them to break the cycle of the last two World Cups missing it. So I'm going to go Italy. I'm going to get Italy to claim one of those spots, one of the 4 spots remaining for Europe. Then we've got in Pot B, Ukraine versus Sweden. And then Poland versus Albania. I don't really believe in Sweden's team right now. I don't think the experience is there compared to past years. So I'm going to go Ukraine. And then Poland, Albania, I've got Poland. So we got Ukraine versus Poland. That's a toughie as well. Man. I'm going to go Poland. I'm going to have Poland taking it and making it to the World Cup. Pot C, we've got Turkey versus Romania. Easy for me. I'm going Turkey. I think they're a very talented team, but they're a tough team. Just tied Spain in the last World Cup qualification match. I love Adlet Guled. So I go Turkey. And then Slovakia versus Kosovo. I'm going Slovakia. So then we got Turkey versus Slovakia. I'm going Turkey. So I take Turkey getting the 3rd spot for Europe. And final pot, we've got Denmark versus North Macedonia, and then Czech Republic versus Ireland. I got Denmark over North Macedonia, and then I'm going to go Ireland over Czech Republic. Denmark versus Ireland. Oh, man, it pains me to say this. but I think Denmark has more talent than the Irish, and Denmark has a better team than the Irish. So I'm going to have Denmark taking that final spot. So I've got Italy, Poland, Turkey, and Denmark taking the 4 final spots for Europe and making it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the international or intercontinental playoff. We've got New Caledonia versus Jamaica. And then we've got Congo, who will await the winner. And I'm going to go Jamaica versus Congo. And I got the Reggae Boys. Shout out to my friend Chad from Jamaica. I've got Jamaica. I got the Reggae Boys making the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And then the other path, we've got Bolivia versus Suriname. And I'm going to go with Bolivia. And then Iraq waits for them. So I'm going to go Iraq versus Bolivia. And I'm going to go Bolivia. I'm going to have Bolivia making the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And so out of the international playoff, I've got Jamaica and Bolivia making the tournament. And that should confirm the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And from there, we're going to take on another topic here as I'm bringing up more information. And this one takes us to Europe on the English national team. We touched a little bit about this last week, but it's Thomas Tuchel, head coach. Obviously, we know he's German, the head coach of the English national team, and Jude Bellingham. I'll reiterate the comments that between Bellingham, Phil Foden, and Harry Kane, they all don't fit Thomas Tuchel's system, and one of them is going to be left out. It's crazy to say, right? Phil Foden, Bellingham, Harry Kane, they all seem to be important players in the English national team at this point. So to say that you're going to leave one of them, I want to say, from my rational thinking, I want to say it's not going to be Jude and it's not going to be Harry Kane. How are you going to leave one? How are you going to leave an influential player like Jude Bellingham? Impacts the game so much in the midfield. How are you going to leave him? Such a generational talent. How are you going to leave him home? Harry Kane, number 1 all-time English goal scorer, playing great at Bayern. How are you going to leave him? So in my rational thinking, in my head, I'm like, well, okay, well, seems like you're going to leave Phil Foden if this is the options. And I'm okay with that. Out of those 3, you don't take Phil Foden, yeah, it's still a big deal, but you're being forced to keep one. So out of those 3, if I have to save one and send him home, it's going to be Phil Foden out of Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. But here's my thing. For some reason, I think that there is some behind-the-scenes beef that is going on between Jude Bellingham and Thomas Tuchel. In their last World Cup qualification match, Tuchel pulled Jude Bellingham off of the field, and Jude was not happy about it. And Thomas Tuchel had some words post-match to say about Jude Bellingham not being happy being subbed off the field. And he said he must accept and respect the decisions, as his behavior can give a bad impression. Listen, one, we know how critical the English fans and the English nation can be of their players on the national team. We've seen it. We've seen it from greats like David Beckham, who would get criticized by the citizens of his own nation. I can't remember who, and this came out today. I read it today. Former English player and now a pundit said, Jude, be ready for the criticism. Don't be alarmed by it. Be ready because it's coming. And Jude looks like a great guy. He does, very humble. But I don't want this to impact him and make him feel like I don't want to play for the English national team anymore because why should I? I go there, I give my best, and I get criticized all the time. And then you're having kind of a rift raft with Thomas Tuchel now as head coach of the English national team, which hasn't really been a good start to his tenure as head coach in terms of his relationship with Bellingham. There might be something there that's going on, and they may not have a good relationship, which tends for me to think, my God, what if Jude Bellingham might be the player that's not going to be on the plane to the United States for England? If that is the case, if Thomas Tuchel makes that decision, now as an American, I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, well, that's almost the same exact decision of Jurgen Klinsmann not taking Landon Donovan. Absolutely not. Donovan was at the end of his career. Do I think he should have gone to that World Cup? Absolutely. 100% yes. I think out of respect for what Landon Donovan has done for the United States national team in this country and this sport, I 100% out of respect and honor, I think Donovan should have gone to the World Cup in Brazil. But again, end of his career. Jude Bellingham, I don't even think he's hit his prime yet. And he's a generational talent. And I think that he makes such a difference on the pitch for any team, whether it's Real Madrid, whether it's been Borussia Dortmund, or it's been Birmingham City. He's a generational talent. And I think in order for England to succeed and to win this World Cup, which I honestly think they have the team to do it, I think that they have been knocking on the door, whether it's been a European Championship or a FIFA World Cup, with the talent they have right now. It's probably the best English team that they have had in years. I think that they are knocking on the door to get a major international trophy. But in order to do it, I think that Jude Bellingham needs to be on the field and he needs to be starting. And I think that Bellingham is going to make a huge impact on the team. Saw it last Euros. We saw it last World Cup. I think he needs to be on the field. And if he's not on that plane, heading to the United States, come summertime, I'm sorry, England, it's not going home. It won't be. You need Jude Bellingham. I'm telling you right now, you need Jude Bellingham. So that is my take. And if Thomas Tuchel takes that decision, I think it's off of a personal relationship he has with Jude. I think it's off a personal beef that he has with Jude. And I think that he'll be absolutely insane and absolutely stupid and an idiot if he does not take Jude Bellingham to the World Cup. And I probably think I'd lose respect to Thomas Tuchel as a coach if he doesn't take Bellingham. You know, as people say, F all that. You know, you got personal beef with the guy. You guys don't get along. All right. But don't put it in your decision-making of what is going to help your team win. And I personally think he's going to help this team win. So, again, if he doesn't do it, I've lost respect. He's an idiot. It'll be stupid. And this team won't win the World Cup. Now, if they go on, don't take them and win the World Cup, you can come back to this episode. You can DM me. You can try to call me, text me, find my number, do all that, and bring me the heat. and I'll say, okay, you were right. But that is my prediction if Jude does not get selected to go to this World Cup. And I think it'll be because of beef that's going on between him and Thomas Tuchel. Let's go across the pond. United States national team. Nobody's talking about them right now, but they just beat Uruguay 5-1. Like, wow. I think this window right here that we just had was impressive for the United States national team. When's the last time United States has ever beaten Uruguay? And not just beat them, demolished them. And with some beautiful goals for the U.S. side. When's the last time that's happened? Against a top team. Obviously, Uruguay, since the last World Cup, has struggled. I get it. Maybe some big-time players weren't on the field for Uruguay. This wasn't international friendly. But it's still Uruguay. It's still the talent Uruguayo against American talent. And the U.S. pulled it off. But there was, as we call it, a kerfuffle during the match where we saw punches being thrown. It was a huge fight. I don't know if, and by the way, it was over such a stupid reason. I don't know if FIFA or CONCACAF, or CONMEBOL, those are the associations of the two countries. Now, obviously, FIFA being the governing body, will have any sanctions, suspensions for the federations or for any of these players that were involved in the fight, in the brawl. But we heard after from U.S. players that said, we love it. And this was what Poach, his nickname, head coach Mauricio Pochettino, said, we need to show fight. And he loves it when this happens. And I think that that's really motivated the players to play for the badge. And to not leave your brothers behind and not play as superstars or individuals, but play as a team for your nation. So I think right there, that's a very good mentality change to what we have seen as of late and in recent years from the United States men's national team. One, they beat Uruguay 5-1, demolished them. They feel like they can hang with the best of them and show their worth and be that team that's a pain in the ass to play against. I got to give my respect where respect is due for Mauricio Pochettino. And now, he did say, as this is the final topic of tonight's agenda, he did say he wants more investment from the U.S. fans. Granted, we see a lot more U.S. fans show out for the women's side because we've seen the women's side be more successful than the men's. I do think soccer has grown immensely in this country. I think that it's domestic league in the MLS or even USL Championship, the second tier of American football. I think it has grown a lot. What is going to get butts and seats for this U.S. side and Mauricio Pochettino is win. Win big-time games. And I think that as of late, how things were going and the defeats they were having, it turned a lot of people off and felt like we were going backwards. But I think off of this window that we just saw some big-time wins. Obviously, that marquee is the 5-1 over Uruguay. I think it'll have people curious. And I think come World Cup time, people are going to be very enthusiastic for their national team. And if they have a good run at this, because the last World Cup, yes, they got eliminated round of 16 against the Netherlands, played England, played Iran, played Wales. I think people were enthusiastic about the United States men's national team and were rooting for them, and you felt the sense of pride. But I think we could see more. And now people may say, "Oh, you're wrong. I don't think there'll be a sense of pride in this national team in this upcoming World Cup." But I do feel so. I do feel so. And if they have a good run of form in this tournament, I do think that what we see Mauricio Pochettino talking about can come to fruition. And obviously, we need to bring in some silverware. I'm not saying that the U.S. is going to be the world and win the World Cup, but at least go far in this tournament and have people believe in this team. And then Nations League, Gold Cup, you got to bring in some hardware. So I think they have a good possibility of doing this. And with that, this is going to bring us to our team of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, your team of the week is Ireland. And here's why. They hammer down on Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal to stay alive. They move into the second game of this World Cup qualification window, and they play Hungary. They're down. They're going back and forth with Hungary. It's tied. And just at the last minute, the fight of the Irish, the luck of the Irish, a last-minute goal sends Dublin, Shannon, anywhere in Ireland. Insane. They win the match against Hungary. They send Hungary home. Hungary will not see the FIFA World Cup. Ireland stays alive. They move on to the European playoffs. Unfortunately, I don't think, as we said earlier in the show, I don't have them going into the final tournament. I think Denmark is better. But I have to give the team of the week to Ireland for the fight that they showed. I think that they were up against two giants, that they were unfavored against these teams. Everyone knows the Irish aren't, the favorites when it comes to soccer. But against Portugal, this is Portugal we're talking about. They showed fight. They won against Hungary. They fought for the very end, the very last second, the very last minute of this match. They fought hard, and you saw the emotion of the Irish countrymen and women and those players on the field of how much it means to them to try to get to this tournament in the United States, Canada, and Mexico next summer. And they did it. I mean, they're one step closer. They are in the playoffs, and it needs to continue. The dream continues, and it stayed alive. And at least come March or April, whenever these playoffs are, the dream of playing in the World Cup stays alive with Irishmen and women all over the country. So once again, just their grit, their fight, the determination, like so many fighters, by the way, that have come out of Ireland and shown the Irish pride was shown on the field. They fought to the very end. They beat Hungary on that last-minute goal. And they make it to the European World Cup playoffs, just one step closer to the final tournament. And that is why Ireland is our team of the week. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Pressing Matters episode number 9. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We still got some shows to end out this week, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. But once again, just a reminder, next week we will have no shows on the Thanksgiving holiday week. We are taking the week off. But once again, you can always stay tuned to all of our social media. And obviously, after the holiday week next week, we will be back with a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. It will be episode number 10. And then, of course, all the episodes on the Plugstock Sports Network. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to all of our stuff. Stay updated. We hope that you have a fantastic and blessed Thanksgiving week. God bless all of you guys. And we'll see you on the other side. Have a good night.